From the air, it looks like a scar on the land, the spot where dozens of rail cars left the track, sliding to a creek bed at the bottom of Cathedral Mountain. On the ground, today started just as yesterday ended, workers removing mangled rail cars from this valley, while investigators try to determine just what happened here.
Preliminary indications are that a loss of control of the train occurred.
The Transportation Safety Board says it's too early to say what caused that loss of control, but some details about what happened before the crash are emerging.
The train had been stopped on the grade with the air brakes in emergency for about 2 hours when the train began to move on its own. There were no handbrakes applied on the train.
The TSB says that stop was to make a crew change near the BC-Alberta border. Once the train started moving on its own, it was moving fast, accelerating for about 3 kilometers before hitting a curve, derailing and tumbling down an embankment to the frigid creek bed below.
The winding stretch of track that makes its way through this rugged part of the Rockies has always been a dangerous one, in part because of the steep grade trains have to make their way down on their way into Field, BC.
Another train crashed here last month. No one died in that derailment, but the union representing the dead CP employees says 8 rail workers have died in Canada since November 2017. And they want more done to keep them safe, something the federal government says it already does.
It's always a possibility that accidents or derailments will happen. We're trying to make it as safe as possible, and we will continue to make that our priority.
The cleanup will continue here in the coming days as investigators search for the train's event recorders, tasks made more difficult by the frigid weather and rugged terrain that may have played a role in this tragedy. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Calgary.